Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Crit Happens, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. My name is Ken, and I am the DM for this adventure, set in my own homebrew setting of Nazareth, a world full of hidden ancient magic, political intrigue, and now 4 new heroes who begin their adventure today. I just want to take a moment and start by saying thank you for checking us out, whether it be as a podcast or on our YouTube channel. However you found us, thank you for your interest in taking the time to listen. Though D&D may not be new to us, operating and recording a podcast is, and I personally would appreciate any comments and feedback going forward. You can contact us directly either on Twitter at CritHappensPod or send us an email at crithappenspod@gmail.com. Without further delay, let our adventure begin. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much over the world stuff, but yeah, like I said, with as far as the playing and stuff like that, I mean, Jack and Eric know that if you do something stupid, you could die. But I'm not going to let like the total party wipe happen unless somebody really wants to just fucking kill everybody.
You mean like 15 kobolds getting advantage even though they're in sunlight?
I misread that, but now I know. I saw the pack tactics thing, but I completely skipped over the sunlight sensitivity part. Yeah, that was bad. So to just kind of go over this again, the Northrend Peninsula, which is this whole big section, not so much this separate island. I think it's the most northeast point you can get on the continent. It is, and this is something all you guys would know, is that it was originally really big because this up here is one of those old ruins, like cities of the old ones and stuff like that. So it kind of got big because people would go there, they would excavate and get artifacts and stuff like that, and then turn around and sell them and then ship them out that way. Not a whole lot of trade gets done on this northern edge. It's mostly just across here. Stingard can go south towards the Azure Coast and sell stuff, but not really. And then anything that goes west coast is usually Fallshire and that little bay there. Let me just go kind of over the characters. So, Jack, yours is Luzzu, the Goliath Paladin, and you are part of the Church of the Faith, right?
That's right.
And to what extent is that? Is it like...
Frat boy.
It's frat boy. Are you like big into it? I think you said something like you're a Goliath, so you had a tribe, but then something... Oh, wasn't it something you guys were going through dungeon? You were like, oh, I actually really like going through the dungeons, and the Goliaths were like, no, we just want to go kill stuff. So then you kind of signed up with the church because they kind of got that exclusiveness over the ruins.
That's right.
So you're not... Would you say that you're interested in the actual like religious part of it, or just you're more focused
am now,
on...
the more I've been around it.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like just bled off. But you originally had no care about like religion. You were just like, I just want to go in these dungeons.
Yeah. But then I saw the light.
I saw the light.
25 soft glowing wands.
Yeah, and I think I was saying that it would make sense because you guys are all starting in Stingard, that bottom city. That's going to be the party icon. It's kind of like the capital, I guess, of the peninsula, especially at least of the northern half. It's hard to see, but down there's a fort called Falcon's Landing. That's really the city that anything that goes in and out of the peninsula goes through that city in some way. But Stingard's kind of the capital of that northern part. So it would make sense why you would be there, because Lowencanster has become a more religious town over the past like couple months. And I'll get into that more. I'll get more into that later. I'll just go counterclockwise. And Eric, you're the Tabaxi, the catfolk monk. And you took the hermit background?
The Outlander.
The Outlander one? Okay. And then Tabaxi, I'm just going off what Volos did, which is they're more from like a jungle thing, so it would make sense that you kind of came to Stingard on a ship from a different land, and you just kind of came through that, and that kind of goes into what Michael's character is, the monk, where you're human, but you're a far traveler.
Bard.
Monk. You're the monk, right. I'm all over the place. You're the bard, far traveler. Did you decide, because I remember we were going over the far traveler thing, and I was like, oh, it'd be kind of like Maori, where you might have like facial tattoos and stuff like that. Did you kind of figure any of that out? If it was just a lot of piercings, facial tattoos, just anything kind of... what about you makes you stand out as somebody that's from a distant land?
Well, because you were saying that, like, magical items aren't as prominent or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, alchemy and stuff is.
Okay.
So, pretty much, I'm kind of saying that the place where I'm from is... The replace your body parts with alchemical
Okay.
metal, basically.
Like Full Metal Alchemist kind of style.
Right, so that's like what they did to my eyes. So my eyes are like mercury, and like my
So you've
fingers are,
lost
like,
your eyes, but you had them.
Right, but they're basically
replaced-ish.
replaced with the.
But they're nothing.
They don't do
They're
anything
just-
special.
yeah.
They're just basically
Aesthetic?
That's odd.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all it is.
He must be a far traveler.
And then Jim, you're the ranger, and I know when we were talking about it initially, I was like, "Oh, well, you're a ranger because you can pretty much just go anywhere." What did you pick for the favored terrain? Forest. Okay. Yeah, and can you think of any particular reason why you would be all the way up here? Or you just kind of like traveling around? I don't know if you have something that's like a backstory as far as like what would.
say that I have a tribe of other wood elves that I'm a part of. I have a wanderlust, experience other things, and
Sure.
bring them back to the benefit of my tribe.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of like on a mission for the tribe, just kind of like learn more stuff.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay.
What's out in the world? 'Cause,
Sure.
You know, wood elves are very exclusive to
Yeah,
wood elves.
yeah, that makes sense. And then just because Michael mentioned it, and just to go back over stuff with the world, like I said, there was the whole Church of the Faith is basically based on the idea that there were ancient peoples or something that created ruins and cities and stuff like that, which would be what's up there, where that Fort Northrend is. They had a real big. They were very smart people. A lot of what modern culture knows as far as astronomy and magic and stuff like that comes from what they recovered from those ruins. Magical artifacts, magical enchanted weapons, stuff like that. Mostly purely just the old people, the old ones. They have recovered it. As far as what modern technology can do, artificers are big on trying to bring that back and make magical items and study them. Wizards too, to some extent. Alchemy is pretty common though, as far as making potions and poisons and stuff like that. That's where a lot of magic comes from. There's not a lot of spellcasters, but like I said, there's three planes. There's the physical plane, which is just the world, the material plane. There's the astral plane, which is beyond death and stuff like that, where it's basically just a grayscale, silent, eerie version of the real world.
Like Hella.
My real world.
And then there's the elemental plane, which is just crazy firestorms and shit like that.
Floating islands with waterfalls.
Yeah, just crazy stuff. And that's where a lot of magic comes from, where it like bleeds through, it gets pulled through by wizards and sorcerers and stuff like that. And for the most part, history of the peninsula specifically that kind of everyone would know being over here, even to some extent, Eric and Michael, the two of you that have come from a different distant land, you would still kind of have I would assume that you would do some sort of research on where you're going. And it's pretty known that Northrend, that peninsula, it got big-ish because of the ruins and a lot of artifacts getting pulled from there. That's the only reason it really exists, because it doesn't serve much else of a purpose. Once the church kind of took over that over the past, I think the past like 100 years or so, the church has been really big on like, don't go in there without our permission and stuff like that. Recent history, we're talking like within the past year, this area in particular has had a lot of religious people coming in and stuff like that. I'll get into that more. All right, all of you, I'm assuming you all can have some sort of reason for why you would want to get out of the peninsula. For the two of you that have come here, you know, from overseas and stuff like that, there's really nothing here that makes people stick around if they come from an outside place. It's not, you know, people aren't moving here to be like, oh, you know, the climate's really nice out here. You're obviously, Jim, you're going to leave because you're a ranger. You are just here to study stuff, and then you're going back home, wherever that may be. You, on the other hand,
I'm sick of being in this same place.
Yeah, that would make sense.
My tribe used to wander, and now I thought I was going to go dungeon diving all the time. Doesn't really happen.
Yeah, for this one specifically, you would know a little bit more, so I'll go into that real quick. Within the past, like 6 or 7 months, a lot of religious people the church people, have come to Lowencanster. They've kind of set up shop. They've taken exclusive ownership of Fort Northrend, because they're doing pulls from the city. They're doing excavations and stuff like that, and it's all stockpiling there. But because the church is kind of based on the mainland in Lowencanster, so they're kind of big there. You don't really, being in the church, you don't have a big obligation to anyone in particular. Like, you have people that you'll report to, but you're not stationed anywhere. If you want to go somewhere, you can go. You're in a position like that. It's not like, now if you were higher up, you know, where they're like, we have a job for you, that's different. But for in this situation, you're just here. If you want to leave and go somewhere else, you can do that. You're not really required to be there. You're not that
Just
important.
like a night
You're not that
tour of the
important.
church. I just do my bidding for the church wherever I go.
All right, so let me.
My boys.
So you guys, yeah,
My boys.
you guys being in Stengard, you guys obviously want to leave. The only really way off the peninsula is through the mountains, through Falcon's Peak, through Falcon's Landing, and then out from there. There's not really any good way to go through or around the mountains. You just kind of take that easy road through there. But within the past about three months or so, there have been a lot of reports that there are people getting attacked and ambushed in that mountain pass. Mostly trade caravans where they have goods, but the occasional just traveling party will get attacked. It's a problem. It's not a guarantee that it would happen, but it's enough that people are second guessing how they go from Stengard to out of the peninsula and stuff
Take
like
a boat?
that. Yeah, and the boats from Stengard don't travel south very often because they really don't have a reason to. So unless you want to pay like an exorbitant fee to have them make a special trip for you, it's kind of not something that they're going to do normally. So a lot of people have been taken to traveling in like large groups because that seems to dissuade a lot of people from getting attacked where they're coming in a large group. And then especially if people are doing trade caravans, there's a really big demand for bodyguards for those caravans. And so for the past couple of days, you guys have all been looking for a way out. You don't want to leave by yourself because that's basically inviting you to get ambushed by whatever's in the mountains and attacking people. And see, but there's no real, you guys didn't come with a group, so you don't really have a group to leave. So you've been trying to get some kind of notice and everything. And eventually there is a bulletin post outside the inn that just states that the local owner of the Iron Skin Armory is seeking able-bodied adventurers who want to just go through the pass and get out of town because he's trying. Oh, go ahead.
Is it assumed that I can read?
What do you mean? Is it assumed that you
Because
can't
I'm not
read?
a druid, but
Everything can read.
Everything can read.
Anything
Yeah.
can read?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like 3.5 where it's just like you have to have a certain intelligence or something
If you have
for
an intelligence of under
skill
7,
points to read.
Grunt had an intelligence of 6.
Like every language that you have in your character sheet, you can read it, you can write it, you can stuff like that.
It's impressive.
Yeah, so Iron Skin Armory, they have a caravan of goods that they want to take to Falcon's Landing, which is that city way down there by Jack's name on the website. They are offering a total of 50 gold pieces to those that help. So it's kind of beneficial if you have a smaller group, you all make more, but if you have a bigger group, you're safer, but you make less per person. But it's 50 gold pieces to you, and it asks that any of those who are interested go to the Iron Skin Armory and speak to the assistant, Karl Tenderfoot.
That sounds like a halfling.
It is. So you guys, let me start this up, because it's basically, we're just going to start at like the start of the day, where you guys are getting up out of the inn. I don't know, do you want it to be a situation where you kind of all just kind of meet up and we're just, we happen to be answering this ad at the same time? Or do you want it to be like you guys have met previously and you're going as a group? I'm kind of throwing that up to you guys as far as what you want to do.
I would assume I don't know anybody, so I'm just
Okay.
starting to get lazy.
Would you also be in a position where you're just like, just looking for a way to leave, I don't really know anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of.
You guys might have actually known each other on the boat over.
Yeah, like
Possibly.
Yeah.
Not like, maybe not like, we're good friends now and stuff like this. Like, like nothing major like that, but
hey,
you recognize each other.
5 gold.
Showed me some cool shots I can do with my crossbow.
Yeah.
Taught me some kung fu.
You guys would probably recognize each other if you saw it, definitely, because you're
You
totally
have a
fucking weird.
You have a level of bard. You have a level of.
Good job.
What about you two? Would you say that you guys don't really know each other? I'm assuming you might, I don't know, you can correct me on this, but your ranger might not be a wholly religious person, maybe.
No.
He might know of me because the common folk of where I'm from, or I guess where I'm love me.
Oh, they love it.
I would say for the bulk of the time we've been here, I've been out in the wilderness trying to learn new things about nature that isn't native to my homeland.
So maybe at best, if you came into town for supplies or to sell pelts or
The
something
one
like that.
7'8" tall guy.
Yeah, you might. It's being a Goliath. You might be kind of hard to miss. It might be the same thing. Not even as like loosely connected as they are, but you would just be like, I've seen you before, because you happen to be in the same town. Anyways, So, you guys rest for the night at the local inn and tavern called the Broken Arrow, and then you just make your way. Let me start this going here.
Mark every time it rolls.
And so you guys would just make your way down to the Ironskin Armory. It doesn't have to be as a group, but in some manner head out that way. As you guys get there, you notice it's a decently sized 2-story home with an awning over the forge that's built off to the sides, kind of raised a little bit off the ground. At the forge, there's a pretty tan-skinned dwarf who's just kind of pounding away at the anvil. He's got a black beard. It's all dreadlocked hair tied in a bun. He doesn't seem to notice any of you as you guys are walking by. He seems just very intent on his work. And as you kind of near the door, located at the corner of the building, you can kind of see a wagon that's parked out front. It's very clearly loaded up, full of a couple trunks and barrels and stuff like that. So you all get the gist that you're in the right place. This wagon's getting ready to go. Here's a forge. Inside the shop, you can see there is a little halfling that seems to be scurrying around, kind of between mannequins that are equipped with armor and cases, barrels full of arrows and stuff like that. So you guys just want to go in?
Yeah.
Take it? Okay. Let's just assume you guys kind of all enter at once. The front door, the first floor of the shop is, or the first floor of the building is the shop. So you can kind of assume that the second floor might be where the guy actually lives or something like that. There's a couple mannequins put together with leather and chain armor, even one in plate. A couple of racks holding axes and swords, different weapons. Daggers in cases. Some of them look practical, some of them look ornamental, and stuff like that. As you guys walk in, the little halfling kind of notices that 4 people just like walked into his shop. He kind of stops what he's doing. He's just like, oh, hello, how can I help you today?
I saw your sign.
Oh, the ad for the adventurers to help me travel through the mountains?
Yes.
All of you?
Me.
Oh, all of you are here to help?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
I just nod.
Yes. I believe it said that you would all receive 50 gold once we arrive at the city. Total. So we'd split that up, however.
What about Hazard? Like, what are you expecting us to do? Are you expecting us just to walk with you? Or, because if it comes down to it, how much, like, you're paying me 50 gold? I don't know how much fighting I'm going to do just for 50 gold.
Yeah, it would be 50 gold for safe travel, but if in the unfortunate event that we are attacked or something like that, once we deliver the goods, we could perhaps work out some additional pay as hazard pay. That would be fair, I think.
Are you expecting a treacherous path?
Well, over the past few months, I mean, people have been, especially caravans full of goods, have been attacked a bit, so I'm hopeful that maybe it's safe, but
Who's doing these attacks?
I've heard a couple reports. Some people have said goblins, some have said other creatures, but I haven't made this journey in the past couple months, so I'm not too sure.
Take my dagger out on the table. You wouldn't think they were orcs, would you?
No, orcs are this far north, no.
Scratching an orc face.
Just to mention it though, orcs are a big thing. Orcs, because they're the ones that are like, there's whispers of like the horde coming back and stuff like that, but they're way south. So the idea of orcs being up this north is. No, I just forgot to. I mean, it's possible. Orcs could definitely. They could go. They're going to be everywhere. But
Well, I'm in.
good, excellent. All of you sound good.
Count me in.
All right. Well, I will finish loading this wagon up. We should be able to leave within about an hour. Do you need any supplies or anything like that? I mean, you all seem fairly well equipped, but if you need extra arrows or anything like that. Food? Yeah. If I mean, not here. I mean, we don't sell food.
Will
But
you be feeding us on the trip?
Yeah.
yes, your food and provisions are taken care of for the trip, so I wouldn't worry about that.
I'm good.
So about how long until he's ready to go?
Very quickly. Karl. Yeah, Karl does not take long at all to get everything. It's already basically packed up. He was just waiting for people to respond to the Craigslist post, basically.
Now that you're here, tally ho.
Yeah, I mean he will.
He was literally just waiting on people to show up to help him.
Yeah, I mean in the past years, making this trip wouldn't be a huge thing. It would be a very basic trip, but given the certain circumstances, Now he kind of needs bodyguards. But yes, it will not take long to finish loading the cart and get everything well. Karl bids his farewell to the owner of the forge, and everything loaded up into the wagon, and you guys can head out to briefly cover the wagon. The party can fit about 3 people in the wagon, and one of you up front with Karl at the reins, so no one has to walk on the side or anything like that. The 3 of you that would be in the wagon are basically sitting amongst boxes and barrels and stuff like that.
Kind of like to do a lot of scouting.
Did you want to actually go ahead of the wagon and do some scouting? Sure. I'll go over that in a second.
Can I fit in the wagon?
Yeah, you can fit in the wagon.
I'll ride in the wagon.
That would make sense. You just want to be in the wagon with...
I guess.
Okay.
Trying to meditate.
Just play some adventuring music in the passenger seat. Everything is kind of packed away in the wagons in trunks and cases. Due to the quantity, it's safe to say that it's a pretty valuable delivery. You also notice that all of the trunks and stuff like that, when they're sealed shut, they're not really it's not nailed to the top. They're kind of like cinch strapped, basically, with leather straps that have like buckles that have the logo of the store on them. That's basically how they'll seal up a lot of their goods. And he also advises you guys that it could take up to a full 10 days, but that he's obviously brought enough food and water for you guys to make that 10-day trip.
Cool. Maybe we'll run into some trouble.
It's likely.
I get to leave
Hopefully.
this town. 7 months.
You want to be up in front of the wagon then, right? Just kind of scouting ahead. Okay.
Singing, I'll sing all out tune. Oh, Mama told me when I
So
was young.
Stop playing. I'm not going to play music if you're going to butcher it.
Hey everyone, Ken here. As we round off the first half of our episode, having met the party and their adventure hook, I want to take this moment to address the elephant in the podcast. Despite a lot of testing, the audio quality I have here is just not what I was aiming for. I toyed with scrapping this episode and then possibly the next 2, just because of how unhappy I was with the audio quality. However, after hours of editing, I decided that it would still be better to release the audio we do have rather than just leave out the entire introduction to the series. I just want to again say thank you for listening and assure you that future recordings will be of much better quality. Without delay, let us pick up with our heroes as they saddle up with Karl and make haste for Falcon's Landing.
So you guys have been on this Northrend Trail, which is just the name of the trail that kind of goes around through the mountains, for about 5 days with no incident. So we'll just do this and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you guys are just now getting into the shit of the mountains. And obviously you can see kind of the trail kind of like hugs and wraps around the mountains and then comes around through them. Every night, Karl has taken the cart off the road, covered it up with trees and branches and stuff like that, made a camp. Last night was no different, except you guys kind of slept like more towards the base of the mountains because now you're getting right up on them. So today is actually the first day of travel that you guys are going to be into the mountains. Well, actually, yeah, we'll leave you right there.
Once we get into the mountains, I stop playing music and I just kind of take up more of like a watch position while riding.
So
way back in that goes.
I'll start going. I'll start going by character names a little bit more. So Enialis, Jim. You're going to be up front of the wagon, so you'll notice this before anybody else. It's about the middle of the day when you in particular notice before them, because they're kind of behind you guys. There's a small wagon, several feet off the road, kind of towards the north end of the road, coming from the opposite direction, so you can tell it's been coming towards you guys. And then it went off the road. And there are 2 horses that were pulling it that both are dead on the ground in front of the wagon.
How far behind me are they?
We're in the wagon.
They're in the way. Well,
I know that you're in it. I want to know how far back they are.
I mean, how far ahead do you want to be from them? Do you want to be like 30 feet, 60 feet?
3 miles.
All the feet?
3 miles.
3 miles.
Like 100 yards.
So 300
Okay. Yeah, so still like within, you can still see the wagon and stuff like that. So what do you want to do while the wagon's... Yeah, so the wagon is still coming towards you. I would say that at that distance, they can't really, like, if you try to do, like, hand signals or something like that, it's probably going to get lost in translation from that distance. You can go back to them and say, hey.
Walk back and...
You want to just walk back?
Like, as soon as they can discern what I'm doing, I'm going to...
Okay. So you guys see Enialis kind of wave you guys to stop the wagon. So Karl will go ahead and stop the wagon.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. The wagon stops on a dime, I'll go back
We
to
all
the
go flying.
momentum.
We need to build seatbelts.
So, go ahead.
Walk up to Karl and I just explain to him there's another caravan up ahead, about 200 feet.
Oh, good.
It
So
looks
it's
ambushed.
oh, not good. So, whoa. Okay. Did you see anyone or anything, or is it just too? Okay. Well, shit. I guess you might get that hazard pay after all, then. If you.
I look to the
It's raining
I
money.
look to the monk and I ask when it's got.
Not really.
Okay.
I'll
Looks
jump
like
off the
somebody's
side
not getting paid.
and then.
On a level of
stealth?
skill out of
Like-
20, I'm
Yeah, if
a
you want to stealth, you guys can do whatever you want. So, Carl's just kind of like, Karl at most, he has a dagger. Being a halfling, it looks like it would be a short sword for him, but he's not really equipped for combat. So
tell
Karl,
to get in the caravan and I'll stand outside.
okay. So Carl's kind of like scurries over the back and like kind of scrunches down with the boxes,
I'm
waits.
gonna go explaining this to them.
Oh,
And,
I mean, there's rough trees. I wouldn't say that it's woods, but there's
we're
like
right
some-
at the beginning of the mountain. The valley.
yeah, you guys are kind of, as you can see, there's like, you guys are on the edge right there. A little bit ahead, I guess, would be where kind of, so the cart almost made it out of the mountains, and then they done got fucked up.
I'm gonna
Way to go,
explain to them, I'm gonna go out to the woods and look around. If I see trouble, I'm gonna fire one arrow into the air. I'm going this way. You know where to look.
So you're going to sneak up towards the caravan again from the
So
woods?
I am going to look in the direction he told me to look if he sees trouble.
Okay, so the three of you guys are like going to stay back by the wagon then? They just kind of.
I'm gonna go with them. Stealth.
Okay, so the two of you are basically just going to like stealth up to the caravan and try and
I'm
scout
just
it
hanging
out.
From the woods, not
From the woods.
Not the road.
Okay.
Those are
Um,
some cool eyes.
okay, so the both of you go ahead and make a stealth check.
Are we on the path?
Church,
now?
huh?
Or just
You would
like,
be on the road.
I want to be on the
dungeons.
opposite side of him.
You can kind of like opposite sides of the roads
To cover
Sure,
all
yeah.
the
I
vision.
mean, the roads. It's not like a freeway where it's like this huge, great distance.
You
I mean, the
don't worship
roads
the
maybe
faith?
like 25, 30 feet
Yeah,
across.
I'd say that I do.
As far as like
It's a
what's
little bit
packed
weird
down.
to me, to be honest.
I
The
get
whole
advantage on praying thing and that stuff. Since we're in the
Maybe
forest.
it'll come in
though, right?
handy for
Just
you
because it's so
that I
thin, I would say it wouldn't count as
later on
forest.
down the road.
What is this for?
Maybe
Literally.
it'll
just a
come in
stealth
handy
check.
for you that I
You guys are gonna sneak up.
I like that.
12?
I like that. Turn over. I don't care.
14? Okay. I'm going to say that you guys will stealth up enough to the point that, I mean, because the trees will go up a certain distance, so I'll say that you kind of stop like at the tree line. I don't want to say you guys walk up to the wagon or anything like that. So you guys kind of sneak up from opposite sides of the road to kind of check it out. You don't really notice anything like hiding in the trees or anything like that, or kind of, hiding by the road or anything like that. From where you guys get to before the tree line kind of stops, you can see the wagon, and at this point you can see that the wagon has not only gone off the road, it has careened kind of crashed over to the side. The two horses are out in front. They are clearly dead. It looks like, it's hard to see from the distance, but it looks like they're kind of pocked up with arrows and stuff.
I'm gonna look at the arrows. And try to,
Wait, so now you're going up to the wagon?
Yeah.
Okay,
well, the horses.
to the horse. Well,
I
yeah,
want
the
to
horses.
discern like the make of the arrows.
So I will jump over then to Jim. You might, or Jack, you might have to use the mouse
I
on
roll
this
for
one.
perception now. Just so I
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Watch its back. It's a natural 20.
Nat 20.
25 total.
All right, so this is. Yeah, you can just kind of scroll down. Obviously, I kind of dropped all you guys over here, but you're not all here. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag you over here, and I'll drag Kazas. Is it Kazas? Kazas and Luzzu back there.
Be quiet about it.
So we'll put Zaiha, Eric, there we go. 2 fingers help. So we'll put you up here, and then Enialis, you say maybe you want to get up towards the horses here, like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make just a perception check. You said you got a nat 20, so you're kind of just watching his back.
You see that?
A 6.
What? Oh, the
On your
pings?
screen?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. What?
A 6.
A 6. Okay. So they are pocked up full of arrows. They look pretty cheap. They don't look like your arrows. Yeah, they look very crude. The kind of arrows that would be made by some sort of, I don't really know. Just crude. Nothing that has a lot of craftsman skill.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and put this rock up
Would I
above
be
the
able
ground.
to tell if they were made by the horse who got one?
With a 6,
They're my favorite enemies.
I would say that they even with a 6, you can kind of tell that they're less than orc.
Oh, okay.
So even lower.
I have a stick and a stone.
Yeah, basically. You also see, as you can see on the map, that beyond the horses there is sort of like there's a dead body. He's kind of covered in got blood. He's wearing kind of like just like leather armor. He looks kind of like a sellsword, like a mercenary, just by a glance. He's also been hit with these crude arrows. What are you two doing, Luzzu and Kazas, back at the cart? Are you guys staying back there? Or are you still waiting for the signal?
I'm looking in
Still
the
waiting for the
area where
signal.
he said an arrow's probably going to come up.
I mean, from your distance, you can, because you guys would have come to meet a little bit, so at this point, you can see the shape of the wagon, the shape of the horses. You can see him a little bit more clear. So if he's making hand gestures where if he's doing like a wave or something like that, you can see it. So I wouldn't even say that you have to shoot an arrow at this point. You can probably just be like panic.
Before I bring
Shouting
him
distance.
over towards me, I kind of just want to look around to make sure I don't see.
Sure.
anybody.
And if you scroll this up just a smidge, you don't have to, but up in the north end, where like the rocks are coming from, that's like the edge of the mountain, so it's kind of starting to slope up a little bit. Do you just want to kind of like scout out the area a little bit?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Anything in particular that you're looking for, or are you just trying to make sure it's like safe?
I want to make sure it's safe before I bring the guy who hired me.
Okay.
Come towards me.
Yeah. So as you are,
Money.
let me take a look here.
Hey, you with the much cash.
Eric.
My name's Karl Lightfoot. Lots of
or
Karl
Zaiha, I guess. So Zaiha, Eric, with your 20 from even across the street or across the road, kind of by the wagon, kind of over here, I guess we'll say. You see that there is something that is glinting in the light. Something's kind of caught your cat-like eye, which is perfect for you, actually. Now that I noticed that.
Me, wow.
Yeah. So you notice that as you're kind of scouting around. Go ahead and make another perception check.
Me?
Yeah, aside from your 6.
Roll 6 again.
You rolled a 6 again. Are you adding anything to that, or is it just
Yes!
6? Oh boy. Okay. With your
That close.
another 6 perception, you can tell that you're not able to. You can't really see anything. You can tell that there's tracks going kind of like up towards the mountains, down towards the ground, stuff like that. You can't. There's no way for you to decipher like one particular set of tracks from another, what they are, something like that. But you can definitely see that there's been activity here.
Well-traveled road.
Yeah, for the most part.
Alright, well, since I can't see anything.
Alright, so just waves you guys over. So you guys,
Well, I walk over to that shiny thing.
you can walk over to the shiny thing.
I stand over without trying to bring too much attention to the fact that I saw something.
Okay. You gotta like walk over the dead horse. Excuse me, pardon me.
Shuffle, shuffle. Oh, I like that scene in Monty Python.
Are you
where he just
actually, like-
shuffles over to the...
So as you get closer to it, I'll say, but without even picking it up, as you get closer to it, it looks like just a silver amulet, and there's some sort of symbol on it, which even being from a distant land, you can recognize this as like the logo of the faith, which is like I think it's a 7-pointed, 8-pointed star, like a kind of like a Celtic knot where it's weaves in and stuff like that.
Is it like the holy symbol that I wear?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
I wear a necklace. That's my holy
So if you would have noticed his necklace, you would notice that it's similar, but it would be noticeably different, especially once you get it, or if you take a look at it. But you see that. I don't know if you're trying to pick it up or anything like that, or you just want to notice it.
Lean down and pick it up with my left hand and then pick up a patch of grass with my right hand and just chew on the grass.
You're weird.
This is grass.
It tastes kind of lemony.
So you're trying to like make it so that no one notices you do that? All right.
Can I roll perception again? See what he did.
Make a
This is
sleight
when you
of
do it
hand.
20.
Make
Sleight
a
of
sleight of
hand.
hand. Yeah.
What is that under?
That's
Sleight of hand.
That's dexterity.
Oh yeah, that would be
It's a 7.
Dexterity.
that would be
You don't
dex.
get proficiency.
yeah, you don't
get to
have
add your dex bonus, but not your proficiency.
So a 10 then.
A 10.
Do I roll against it?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
I also make
Oh.
a perception check if we're walking over there.
I'd say you guys are too far. This is just for him.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You notice that?
Yeah.
You notice
Kill
shit
you.
all else, but you don't. So you notice that your Tabaxi friend kind of reaches down to the ground and pulls up a handful of grass. But as he picks up the amulet, it kind of catches the light, and you notice that he's picked up something shiny. What are you even doing with it? Are you looking at it? Or are you just pocketing it? Or probably should have asked that before he noticed what you did.
I'm gonna pocket it.
He's gonna. All right, so you just see him kind of pick up something shiny and just pocket it.
Okay.
You gonna say anything?
Yeah.
Or, oh. All right, so you guys are walking up to the cart. Go ahead and do your thing. You guys are.
Right.
So that looks interesting.
It wasn't.
I don't know. You put it away pretty quick. How could you tell?
I know these things.
I give my shield, which is like Carl sized, to Carl.
Carl size.
Oh, okay. Carl's holding your shield. You lose 2 AC.
Yeah, it gives him a plus on
I don't want it. I just want to know what it was. Help me discern what's going on here.
Thing.
You can have it. I don't want it.
Alright. I'll pull
You
it out
want
and
to take it a
I'll
look?
show
Okay.
him.
I'll go into the examination in a second. But you, just at a glance, you notice it's a silver amulet. You notice it has the logo of the church on there. As you guys roll up in the wagon, we'll say, Carl, I didn't put the wagon on this page for what you guys would have, but you'll say, Carl,
Probably a friend of his. I want to be a little.
we'll put you up here.
Yeah.
So you guys,
Don't know how he'll react.
Carl stops the wagon about where you guys are. You can consider where Luzzu is basically to be like, here's the wagon body part, I guess. But anyways, Carl stops the wagon. You guys can get off if you want to and check out the scene. You guys, you notice that Enialis and Zaiha over here discussing something.
I'll walk over.
I go over to the horses.
Any particular reason to go over to the horses, or you just that's where you're gonna
He's
walk
a fan.
I'm really passionate about. All right, we're gonna say that
Dead
here.
horses.
We'll kind of put you back over with like over
I
there.
I walk over to them. I say, "What's wrong?"
Well, there's dead things.
Yeah.
I don't understand why nobody ate them.
Okay, that's a thing. That was
There's tracks leading that way.
up north.
Up the mountain.
Yeah,
Does
That's the way the carts go.
does caravan look familiar to you at all?
Talking to Carl.
to Carl
To him.
or him.
Does it? Like, does the
That's a good question.
caravan itself?
The caravan itself, it doesn't really look familiar, but you can see like the cushions that were on the seat, so it's a little fancier of a carriage than yours is.
Carl.
The cushions, they also have the mark of the church on them. So you can make a rough assumption that whoever was on this caravan or had this caravan is a pretty, at least a religious person. Cushions don't mean that it was a a church person, but
Or they stole them from.
they
from the
obviously went out of their way to decorate their caravan for the church. Do you want to take a look at the caravan a little bit? You guys have just done like a rough glance of it as far as checking the horses. You just happen to see that because of your damn roll.
Yeah, I want to take a look at the wagon.
You want to take a look more at the wagon? We'll slide your
I'm
ass
gonna look
over
at
here.
the tracks. Better look at them.
You gotta move a little bit north over here?
Yeah.
All right. What about you two then? Zaiha and Luzzu. Are you guys take a look at the wagon? What do you want to do?
I want to follow him because I'm curious about the track to see if footprints are different, if they took a hostage or something.
Another side question. By the time that they got there, specifically Luzzu, and you guys were discussing the amulet, would you have put it away when they got there? Would you still have it?
Well, I don't like this.
Yeah, so I would have hit it.
Oh, okay. Okay. There? Kind of following, flanking him a little bit, or you want to be up next to him?
I just like right behind him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, over the dead body?
Well, then
Is
right
that-
next to him.
I
Over the dead body?
I,
Yeah, just kind of standing on the dead body.
I want to ask Carl if there was supposed to be any supplies coming into town. Was this caravan was actually going the other way?
Into town. Not that I'm aware of. We weren't expecting any sort of shipments, but we don't communicate too much with the other stores as far as their shipments.
I was like, look over my shoulder. Just look in the barrels, genius.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So as you,
I'm just asking Carl. If Carl knew who
the
would be.
barrels that are shown here, they're full of supplies, food, water, stuff like that. Not supplies like it's a trade caravan. This caravan, as you're just kind of giving it a once over, definitely looks a little bit more luxury than.
And there's a sellsword that's dead on the ground.
Yes.
So and there's no other body around.
No.
Okay, well, sounds like there's a hostage.
And
Did you say
then
that?
Yes.
I turn around then.
as you, what are you doing?
I turn around, and then I show him the amulet.
Okay.
Yeah, probably,
Tell me about this.
probably this guy.
Jack, give me a religion check, but do it with advantage
Grab
Okay.
in the hand and accidentally.
because it's your religion.
So that'll give me a total of 13. Yeah, 13.
13. with that, you notice that amulet, like I said, it has the same logo as yours for the church. It does look different, and you know, being a member of the church, this amulet is really only worn by priests. Not the bodyguards, not the explorers, but actual priests.
This amulet belongs to a priest.
As you say that, Eric, you hear something behind you. Since now you're facing back towards Luzzu, I'm going to say that you kind of moved upwards up there to show that. You hear something behind you. As you turn around, you notice, not you looking in that direction don't even notice, that there are a couple of kobolds who are kind of like making their way, kind of like half sliding, half running down the mountains.
I don't notice them?
They're kind of, I said half running, they're kind of like sneaking their way down, but you would also notice them, technically. I'll give it, fuck it. They're not, there's not going to be any sort of surprise round or anything like that.
So they get advantage in daylight?
So, yeah, kobolds.
Don't say anything, just fire an arrow at them.
Alright, so let me do this. So there's 4 in total. You notice that 3 of the kobolds are kind of like making their way down the mountain. They've got their little, whatever weapons kobolds have. I have to look it up and pull it up.
Yeah,
Spears or something. Another one is actually flying down the mountain. It's a winged kobold.
With wooden wings.
Not the wooden wings. This one actually has wings. They have daggers.
Degrays.
So they look very intimidating. So
How far away are they?
oh, go ahead and scroll up. You can leave that road behind now.
Okay.
Or yeah, there you go. You can perfect. That's good.
Okay.
I'll include because I'll move.
Oh,
all,
there's everything. Okay.
yeah,
That's
I'll
good.
move the tokens.
Yeah, because alright. No, that actually does it all. So.
Are kobolds like scaled creatures?
Yeah, they're like little
They're like little lizard guys?
They're little mini dragon people kind of thing. So leathery skin. They might have patches of scales and stuff like that. But go ahead and we'll do the initiative. Let me start my little tracker here. You know what? I'm not going to do that. That's too much work.
61.
Yeah, that's what I got. 61 out of 20
22.
61's higher.
All right, give me 1 second.
24.
All right,
I
so
rolled a 19 as well.
for Michael,
So did
for
I.
Kazas, you had 22.
Yeah.
Jim, for Enialis, you had 24. 16?
19.
19.
Chicken chaser.
Just you take his
17?
chickens.
Wow, you guys are going quick. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Okay, and let me do initiative for these guys. So that's all right. So yeah, you guys are going quick. You didn't. So yeah, using this app, it won't let me put
Like a
the.
lot of Final Fantasy.
Okay. Well, let me repeat that track, so I'll keep an eye on it. So,
console crashes.
the person going first would be Enialis.
Alright, well, I'm gonna run up to the guy behind the rock.
The one closest to you?
Yeah.
So you just run up next to him, so 10, 20, 25 feet to get right up next to him?
Yeah.
Is that what you want? Okay.
And then I'm gonna attack him.
Alright, roll to hit.
I'm gonna attack him with
Your
long sword
Sword,
and
yeah.
dagger.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the longsword first.
You get two attacks at the beginning of level 1.
Well, you can use his bonus action for his offhand.
Oh.
He just doesn't. It doesn't. What is it? It's not as likely to hit. It's just yeah. So he still adds his stat to that, but not his proficiency.
Does 12 hit it?
12 will hit. And just to mention it, just the way I do it, if you match a DC or an AC, it goes to the offender.
Offender?
Offender.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, 12 will hit. So roll the damage for
The long sword.
this kobold here for the longsword.
Sexual offender.
9 damage total. And yeah, so you just run up to that kobold as he kind of.
You liked a lot of it. Aha!
Yeah, so kobold comes running down the hill. You go running up the hill. He kind of like screeches to a halt before the rock, and you're just right there waiting for him and just cut him through.
One hand.
You got 5 feet of movement left if you want to use it. Or, yeah, 5. No, you have 10 feet of movement left if you want to use it. You can just stay there.
I'm gonna move towards the one on the right.
On the right, so just kind of cross over. Okay. Next in the order is Michael for Kazas, way in the back.
Away over there.
Which worked out, Because your AC is pitiful. No, it's not. It's 14.
Yeah.
How do you guys all have good AC?
I get to start with chainmail.
It was not supposed to be that. No. You guys are supposed to die.
Is that rock providing the winged kobold dude cover, or is he flying over it?
He would be flying over it. He's not going to get cover from that rock.
Alright,
and
then
why?
I'm going to
Did I not transfer that over to the?
so I'm within.
I didn't do the lighting. Oh, it's an overhead map, so it's fine.
So I'm within at least 30 feet of him, so I can. That's maximum range on my
All right, within 30 feet of him.
Yeah, that way I can still make.
I think
my
you should
crossbow
be.
attack.
I've got my little ruler, which you guys can actually see that. Oh, 45 feet. So you just want to move up
15.
right here.
Right.
Come on, you mother. Oh, whatever. You know what you're doing.
Here.
Not having a.
I got it. About here
That'd be 10.
or here?
I think you'd have to go up there. 30 feet would be. So that.
What about this one? That's 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go right there.
Perfect.
And then I will crossbow attack against it.
All right. Roll to hit.
That'll be 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
So
46 damage.
a d6.
6
Plus your
total.
dexterity.
Yeah.
modifier.
Plus my. I add my dexterity modifier to my damage too.
For range weapons.
No.
No, that's just a hit.
You add your dexterity bonus for a
Yeah,
bow, I
it's
believe.
proficiency that you don't add
Yeah.
to damage.
Oh.
Yeah, range missile damage gets your dex bonus.
Oh, then 9.
Oh, so you got max damage on that then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you you hear the commotion coming up. You kind of run out from checking out the wagon and all the fancy valuables. Load your little hand crossbow. Get behind that rock. Aim at the winged kobold. Fire away, and he lets out a screech as he just goes plummeting to the ground.
That sounds like somebody threw grass seed in, says.
There's this little kobold just like hits the dirt, rolls downhill, slams against the rock.
So that means I still have 15 feet of movement, right?
Correct. Yep.
I don't think that I'm close enough to make my second shot against that guy.
You have to
because
reload.
I'm gonna move up here.
I ignore the reload action with
Really?
crossbow mastery. Yeah.
You just move up there.
Yeah.
Uh,
So that's he probably has cover behind that rock.
yeah, he would have cover behind that rock. And you can't make 2 attacks with a hand crossbow.
With crossbow mastery, I can.
You can make 2 attacks in one turn.
Whenever I make it, as long as I land an attack with it, I get to make a second attack.
All right. Then yeah. So in this case, he's kind of more behind it, so he would have some sort of cover bonus. A pretty decent one.
So you just rolled this in now?
Cover? No, I have cover.
Yeah,
That should be
3/4 cover.
Yeah, I would say it's 3/4 cover because it's hitting the 3 corners. But yeah, if you want to roll to attack him, because you wouldn't really have you might as well.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to. So go ahead and roll to hit that kobold.
Alright.
This is going quick. So I feel a lot better about the later encounters now.
So that means I have both my dex and my proficiency to my
You
to
had
hit.
you had the modifier and proficiency to hit,
Oh,
and then
okay.
just the modifier to damage.
Alright. I rolled a
Sorry,
1.
Jim. Occupied.
I totally rolled a 1.
Oh, you rolled a 1?
Yeah.
Okay. So then your second crossbow, you kind of like, as you're running towards that rock, you kind of stumble and the crossbow kind of out into the distance. That was... It was you at 22. Man, you guys all just... Luzzu, Jack, you're up next. Surprisingly, you guys all just rolled really well for initiative. You're way back there in the ship.
Yeah, I don't know where... What's his face is? Karl is?
Carl is back on the street.
Okay,
He's fine.
I'm just going to Karl.
You're just gonna go protect Carl,
Yeah, because I'm 2 rounds of combat at least out.
distance-wise.
Yeah.
You could dash.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess I'll dash up to
Where are you
that
going?
one behind the rock, up just straight forward. So that's 60 feet of movement,
Yeah, 10, 20, 30.
30, and let's just dash right up to him.
Just dash right up, like right at the corner, next to him.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, right there.
Okay. Yep, so you just kind of like run up and sprint up to this kobold and just get in his face and look very intimidating because you're very tall and he's very not. And then last for the players, because you all beat everyone else, would be Zaiha, Eric.
How far away am I from the guy on the right?
45 feet.
Ooh, I can make it.
40 feet if you want to get right up next to him.
I get
agility?
in combat you can double your.
Oh yeah, that's
But then
right.
you can't move
Yeah,
the
at
next
all.
turn.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, so you can totally just
Run up and beat the crap
Run
out
up
of him and then
and-
wait.
Yeah.
go ahead and Thank you. Good call. Good call. It's 10 minutes. Go ahead. Roll to hit the kobold. Punch the kobold. These poor kobolds are just running down the mountain to just give you guys good news. And you're just beating the shit out of them.
We found the bandits!
A 10.
What?
A 10.
A 10 total?
Yeah.
10 will miss. So, as you run up, the kobold sees you coming from a mile away and is able to...
So since I missed, can I still use my bonus
action to make a second attack?
an unarmed attack?
An
Or
unarmed
do I need
attack?
to hit first?
Is that monk thing that we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
When you use an attack action, you can make one. Yeah, so you can do that.
Yeah,
he
use
doesn't
your
have
bonus
to hit.
action to make another attack. Is it like at a disadvantage? Not
Nope.
disadvantage, but is it at like a minus or not his full?
No,
Just another attack.
just another attack.
All right, go for it. Roll.
Yeah.
Try again.
14.
14 will hit, so roll the damage.
Am I adding my proficiency to this?
Not to damage.
No, just your.
You're to hits.
To hit?
Yes.
Is your fist a finesse weapon?
Can you throw it? He can later on.
Can you throw a rapier?
6.
6 damage total.
Yep.
Wow. All right. So you run up with your cat-like reflexes to the kobold. He's able to just move out of the first punch, but then you got some other one coming to him. You punch him right in the gut, and my monitor's not that wide. And down he goes.
Oh God.
So that did not take long. So it is. It's combat for the kobold, who is just seeing his other 3 buddies just get annihilated. He's just sitting there with his daggers.
His poor pack tactics.
Oh, I'm coming for him.
In a panic, he is going to attempt to run, so you can get an attack of opportunity to catch him, and he's running back up the mountain. He kind of slides to a stop, big Goliath in his face.
A total of 12.
Total 12, that'll hit. Roll
Alright.
damage.
Since I don't have my shield, I gave it to Carl. I get to use it as a two-handed
Oh,
weapon.
this motherfucker.
That's right.
What weapon do you have?
Longsword, but it's
Okay.
versatile. So that's a total of 11 damage.
11 points of damage. So Kobold comes sliding down the hill, big Goliath in his face, other 3 buddies die, turns and runs, only to just get slashed in half and fall in 2 pieces in a bloody smear down the side of the mountain.
My sword over my head. Da, 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 da.
So the first wave of combat is over, and you guys took 0 points of damage.
So we're level 2 now?
No.
Will our heroes be able to rescue the kobolds hostage? Will they still be able to help Karl deliver his goods? And why are the kobolds ambushing caravans in the mountain pass anyways? Find out more next week. Thank you for listening to the first episode of Crit Happens. I want to once again thank you for your interest and your support. Apologize for the sometimes sketchy audio in this episode. And again, this will be corrected in our next recording. And I sincerely hope you subscribe to our podcast for episode 2, coming out next Sunday. If you're finding our show as a podcast, be sure to also check us out on YouTube. Not only will our shows be uploaded there, but I'll also be releasing more instructional videos. When this episode launches, be sure to also check out the video Why You Should Play D&D, especially if you're new to Dungeons & Dragons and think it could be fun for you to play as well. You can find us on YouTube and Twitter at CritHappensPod, or email us at crithappenspod@gmail.com. The background music used in this episode comes from the YouTube audio library and platemailgames.com.